Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. Natasha just stopped me on my first intro and said I was being too loud.
Well, you're like in a really good mood because you went surfing today.
And I got a cool British fuckboy haircut.
Oh, my God.
What?
That's why you're in a good mood, because you like your haircut?
Yeah, I'm like a lad now. I'm like ready to go get some scouse pussy. Are you interested? Anybody interested? I'm like a proper lad.
So what is an American version of a scouse? Like someone who like lives in Philly?
That's a good question.
Like, a Philly chick who's like...
We don't really have that. I mean, I guess we got Southern girls, but it's like a whole region. The Scouse is like a city. It's Liverpool, I think. Why are we talking about them? But I got that haircut. Don't I look like an R&B singer from Britain that uses synthesizers that people are starting to get interested in?
Sure, honey.
Look, I am a youthful man for my age. That's what I think. What do you think?
Yes, of course. And I love that your haircut put you in a good mood. I love that surfing puts you in a good mood. I'd like to find something that puts me in a good mood.
I would love that too. Nothing would make me happier.
It is a hard time right now to be in a good mood.
Not for me. It's called bury your head in the sand. Bury your freshly coiffed head in the sand.
In what way?
Well, you just ignore everything and everything seems fine.
And do you think that is a good way to be?
Probably not. But there doesn't seem to be a good way to be. I'd like to put this to the group.
Yes.
I went for a walk the other day, and right near our house, there are these like concrete pylons that are covered in graffiti. And
they're like grates.
Yeah, they're kind of grates. They're kind of manhole covered
manholes,
domes.
and they come up from the ground.
And they're covered and smothered, just like a plate of potatoes at Waffle House. With gang graffiti, whack stuff. Now, you know me, I'm from the streets, and I believe in the 5 pillars of hip-hop. Breaking, MCing, DJing, graffiti, and one more thing that I can't remember.
There's pillars to hip-hop?
Yeah, maybe it's only 4 pillars. Maybe it's just breaking, DJing, graffiti, and MCing. I feel like there's a 5th one, but I don't remember what it is.
Just regular dancing?
No. You think they have breaking and then just like regular, like shaking your butt? No, I remember the 5th pillar. It's cough syrup. But so if it was good graffiti, I'm not like an old man, you know.
Right.
Like
we get that.
I'm like a young guy, the cool young guy. But this was all whack. It was all like, you know, gang graffiti and somebody crossing out somebody else's gang graffiti, and you know, it's just. So I thought to myself, you know, it would be a nice...
It's like tagging. It's not even necessarily graffiti.
Yeah, it's just eyesore city.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, you know what would be a fun family outing is to get a bunch of spray paint. They're like these domes, kind of. And I go, we could paint the dome, get some stencils. I'll paint one dome sky blue, get some cloud stencils, paint over the cloud stencils with my daughter and my wife, and make it into a beautiful sunny day cloud. Well, I told Natasha this idea. And she had a real problem with it. Natasha?
I didn't have a problem with it. I just said, first of all...
It's illegal.
Well, you should make sure you have permission to not graffiti, but to deface property.
Permission from who? The Ninja Turtles?
I don't know. I'm just saying it's like, it is public, you know, property. It's from the waterworks of the state.
And I didn't realize you were a huge square.
No, it's not that. But here's the thing. And then I told Moshe, I said, if you were an artist.
Yes. This was when
every time
the rubber really met the road.
Moshe, you've said, even probably on this podcast, you don't think you're an artist. You have absolutely zero ability to do any kind of art. And then when I see like...
She kept saying that. You're not an artist.
No, but I'm just saying like, I get like an artist is a gift to the community.
Yeah.
Painting their beautiful, cool paintings all over the manhole covers.
Honey, I'm not.
But like you coming in there with your
with my schlong
spray paint, like, and it running all over everywhere, and you kind of like not really knowing what you're doing because you're not good at art. It doesn't really seem like the answer for the 5 manhole covers that are covered in graffiti.
I'm not talking about doing the Sistine Chapel. I'm talking about sky blue with some cloud stencils. And you thought that was above my pay grade.
I did.
You know what Natasha did, folks? She called our neighbors and asked them if I could do it.
No, I didn't ask them. I said, do you guys think that this would be appropriate And they said, yes, someone used to come in and color them gray again over the graffiti. Now, to me, I think that's a little more appropriate.
You think that'd be pretty fun to tell our daughter, hey, guess what? It's gray day. We're going to go paint things gray.
It's public property, though, and we're not artists. So it's a little weird to be like, I'm going to now set the tone for this whole walking path.
I thought.
With my messy art that's all over.
I'll be real with you.
That's running down the grates now.
I thought that you were cool. I didn't know that you were really into municipal statutes and the city council's
Listen,
edict.
if you were our friend Bunny, who drew those amazing or painted those amazing murals in our daughter's bedroom, she's like an actual artist.
You're saying if I was a world-class muralist, you'd be more comfortable with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just weird for you, who is extremely messy, who always does painting. Like, you're like, I can't paint. And like, it seems like a pretty, like, it's textured. How are you going to draw stars? It just seems like it's going to be a big blob.
Are you a basketball fan?
No.
You don't? Have you ever seen any footage of people playing basketball? Like street ball? That's the fifth tenet of hip hop. It's street ball. I totally just remembered. Are you familiar with like street ball? When somebody's like, dribbling the ball and then they take it to the net, right? Or they do a shot. They're like, "Ooh, I got a cool shot." And then there's like a bully on the court that jumps up over the hoop and like goes like, "Get that shit out of there!" and like slams it away. That's like you with my ideas.
Okay, hold on. Could people weigh in? Maybe I'm totally off base. I just think there would be, if there's a high probability of it being kind of sloppy and messy, should someone come?
No.
But you always say you're a bad artist.
I'm not giving you that opportunity to set the terms of this.
So you say it.
Well, no, I'll say it and you tell me if I'm being fair. A father who loves his child, a loving father, and a loving husband with a thick dick and stamina, has an idea on a fun family outing to spray paint over some concrete mounds and with a stencil to make clouds over the spray paint. That's it. Now, whether or not it will be messy truly remains to be seen. I believe the barrier to entry on what I'm discussing artistically. Now, listen, am I Jackson Pollock? Am I Bunny Reese, world famous muralist? Am I Banksy? No, I'm not.
No, but you self-proclaim. You say how bad of an artist you are.
I don't.
That you have absolutely no talent for it.
I don't consider this talent necessary or even art, actually. It's literally painting concrete blue and taking a stencil and going, is that... Now, those are the terms I will accept.
Okay.
Now, what's the rest of your question? Is this a bad idea?
Yeah, it's like that thing that Dax Shepard said, like, don't make me a part of your bad plan.
I'm not trying to make you a part of your bad plan. Bad plan. I'm trying to do it, and you're trying to make me stop my bad plan.
My suggestion was painting everything gold.
Uh-huh. We could do that, too. Your suggestion, I think, was also to call...
What if someone came in and was like, I want to draw crosses all over it for Jesus? I think that would be beautiful. But as someone of this... community, wouldn't you be like, oh, I wish someone would have asked me what they're going to paint all over?
Here's my basic premise, Natasha. Anything is better than noted gang member Lil Flacco crossing out and writing R.I.P. over Smiley's tag and the gang graffiti that is covering this mound. Anything's better. Even a loving father with limited artistic ability is better than gang graffiti. That is my premise.
All right. Well, that's going to definitely get you 2 more votes.
I love my daughter. What can I say? I love my daughter.
All right. Well, listen, you should take her on a trash pickup.
I might take her on a trash pickup, and I might put your attitude in the bag.
All right. Listen, well, we've got some people waiting to talk to us.
I can't wait.
And I would love to switch topics.
I bet you would, because you're starting to realize in your gut that you're wrong about this. You can feel it.
I definitely love the idea of getting rid of the graffiti. I just don't know that you're the man for the job.
Who is the man for the job? If not now, when? This is my belief. In front, I won't tell you where I live, but in front of my house, on a light pole, there is a sign that has been painstakingly screwed onto the light post that says, please be a good neighbor and pick up after your dog. Now, did the city council give me permission? Did Nithya come by and say, yeah, this will do? Did Mayor Karen Bass come on by after her weird PR tour of the Palisades where she's trying to convince everybody that she's the best mayor there's ever been in LA? No, I did it punk style. Punk rock, that's my background. I'm from a famous punk band. And I said, you know what? I'm taking it to the streets. I don't need permission. I've always said, better to ask for forgiveness than permission. You've always said, what statute does that adhere to?
That's not true.
You love laws.
I don't love laws.
You're a bootlicker.
But usually when you see that someone has painted something in the street, it's like it's someone who has some talent. Artistically, You're very talented, but
thank you.
Just not at painting.
What would you say my talents are?
Writing.
Yeah, what else?
You're a great dad.
Yes, anything else?
Surfing.
No.
DJing.
I'm not a good surfer, but I love it and I do it. Should I not do my real calling, which is agricultural activist graffiti?
All right, listen, we have people waiting. I gotta get off this topic.
What about love making?
You're very talented at love making.
I'm one of the best. I'm the best you've ever had, right? That's what you scream every time we do it. You're the best I've ever had. Oh my God, I didn't believe in a deity, a creator deity until I lay with you. That's what you scream.
And now we're going to talk to
She does.
Julia in Puerto Vallarta.
Every single time. Is that right? You're just making up a name and a location?
Yep.
That means you want out of this conversation. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
You know where I like to kick it with you the most?
Where's that?
In the bedroom.
Oh, that's because you love our mattress.
And because I love your body. But this ad's not about your body. It's about the body of work of Helix mattresses.
Since we've had our Helixes, I feel like I never wake up in those hot sweats anymore.
I never wake up with back pain anymore. And the reason is because we had our Helix custom made for us. We took that little quiz that they got, and they made one just for us. A cooling top, a firm mattress for my back, and now we get to feel good every morning.
We love our Helix, and you can get one too. Go to helixsleep.com/honeymoon for
20% off site-wide plus 2 free dream pillows when you purchase a mattress.
Go to helixsleep.com/honeymoon
for their March Madness sale. That's 20% off site-wide. 20% off any mattress. The most comfortable mattress you'll ever sleep in is now 20% off.
That's helixsleep.com/honeymoon. Okay, now we're going to call Annie in Montana.
Annie in Montana. I love Montana. I want to go this summer.
Let's do it.
You know, they say Montana is big sky country.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it seems like a joke, and then you go there. It is. The sky seems bigger.
Hi.
Annie, in Montana, I have a question. Would you say that the sky is, in fact, bigger in Montana?
You know, I do think that. And I moved here from Wyoming, and there's a huge sky in Wyoming, but Montana still seems bigger.
I totally agree. It's like, you think it's like a weird, like, tourist building bullshit slogan, and then you get there, you go, wait a minute, why does the sky look bigger here?
Smallest sky in America?
New York.
That's what I was going to say, because I lived in New York for 5 years. I had never seen a sunset. And I honestly, I swear to God, I'm not just pretending like I'm Cinderella. I don't think I had ever seen a sunset till I was in my 30s. I'm serious.
Annie, they couldn't afford the sunset in Rockford, Illinois.
No, but I just never saw it. And then I moved to New York. And then in New York, you never see the sunset.
Yeah.
Anyway, how can we help you today?
Wait, before we get into that, I also would like to know, is your life exactly like Yellowstone? It must be.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Yes.
And Harrison Ford is my dad. So.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. I would watch Yellowstone and just lust after like their table settings. They had the best napkins and the best mugs and the best breakfastware and the best, like that hunting lodge aesthetic. I'd love that in my life.
All right, Annie, we're done fetishizing the community you live in. Go ahead.
Okay, how can we help you today?
Okay. In my original email, I had a lot of details, so I tried to make this a little more concise. But you do need to know a little bit of backstory. So my partner and I have been together for 11 years, a long time. We have a pretty good relationship, no real issues. But recently we've been feeling like a little bit disconnected, and kind of how Moshe has said in the past, we get caught up in the business of, the relationship. So anyway, recently he's made a couple of remarks about a male friend that I am close with. And he claims that he doesn't mean anything by them, but I'm just getting really strong vibes that he's uncomfortable with the relationship or feeling insecure or something like that. So my question is, how do I kind of balance my friendship and honoring my friendship while also making sure that my partner still feels loved and knows that, he's the partner?
Has anything changed in your relationship with the friend?
We have been talking a little more frequently, but we've been friends for a really long time. We were friends before I got together with my partner. And so we've had times, where we don't talk for a long time, times where we talk a lot, and we're just kind of in one of those ones where we talk a lot.
Would you consider this person a best friend?
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
Here's the thing. This is how, to me, it becomes emotional cheating, is when you are telling the friend something that you are keeping from your partner. Is that something that you're doing?
I don't think so. I mean, we don't even really talk about serious stuff most of the time. It's
okay, that's good, because that is where it starts to get into the realm of cheating, when you start like wanting to tell that person, not cheating, but like, there's like a surrogate. There's someone else there for your emotions.
Emotional surrogacy. That's a good term.
Yeah, emotional surrogacy. That's what I meant to coin.
So, and you coined it, and I'm giving you
Thank
credit
you.
for it. So your partner, your boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
Got it. Is saying a couple of things that make you start to pick up on the signal that he's feeling a bit of insecurity and jealousy around your closeness with this male friend.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair to you and the region that you're in, there just are not women that you could be friends with. It's literally all cowboys. It's literally just cowboys as far as the eye can see. But have you ever had a conversation with your partner? I mean, the answer to me is like always the same. It's like, you guys got to talk about it. Have you ever said directly to him, you seem jealous of my relationship, or are you feeling insecure about my relationship with my friend? Let's talk about it.
Yes, I have. And he says no, but I guess I don't believe him.
I got it. Well, what are the things that he's done that made you think he's insecure about it? What are these comments?
It's like a tone like, oh, I see you're talking to so and so again, or like the other day he was looking at our phone bill because we wanted to see if we could pay off my phone, and he was like, oh, well, is this number somebody I should worry about? And I didn't even recognize the number at first, and I was like, no, why? And he was like, oh, well, there's just like thousands of text messages with them, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the friend.
Well, now that I've heard a couple of details, I would say that you should not believe him. Your instincts are correct, and he is uncomfortable with this relationship. And I think...
Has he expressed jealousy in the past?
Not really. Neither one of us is very jealous. I mean, I guess we all are at times, but not generally, no.
I mean, what's the harm in just sitting him down and saying, I know you've said that this doesn't bother you, but I just wanted you to know, Blank and I, we're not close like how you and I are close. And we talk about, they're just a friend. And we kind of talk about, tell them 3 things you talk about, or we gossip, or, but, I know that you mentioned the text messages, and I want to make sure that I'm with you.
I would even take it one step further. I like what you're saying. Yeah, you sit your boyfriend down, you call him off his Mustang, and you say, take off the leather cowboy hat, and you guys sit on a bale of hay or something, and you say, I would go one step further than Natasha, because it'll go a long way for you to say to your boyfriend Haas, I am with you, and there's nothing romantic or even in the realm. That's correct, right?
Yes, that is correct.
And then if he's like, babe, I already told you, I don't care. You could say, okay, good. I'm just like, I just wanted to make extra sure. You don't have to say because there were 3 comments or whatever, because then he's not going to say anything again.
No, I disagree. And
really?
That's actually what I was going to say. I was going to say, take it one step further than what you said, because I love your first stanza, which is, babe, just so you know, I'm with you. and you're the only person that I have romantic feelings for. My relationship with Butch or Cletus or whatever his name is,
Cletus.
It's Cletus. Is not. There's nothing there. It's just friendship, and it's a lighthearted friendship. But it's starting to bother me that you're making comments about it. I would say that. It's starting to bother me because it makes me feel like you don't trust me. I mean, am I right about that? I'm not putting words in your mouth. That it is bothering you a little bit when he makes those comments, right?
Yes.
I like that, Moshe.
Well,
it's very confrontational.
I don't think it's that confrontational. I mean, that's what relationships are. I'm with you. I love only you. That's not romantic, and it never will be. And I'd like you to stop making these little comments because really what he's doing, jealousy is so ugly. It's just the ugliest, most pathetic emotion. And really what he's doing is saying, like, I don't fully trust you. Like, a little bit.
But for all we know, one of his friends said something and was like, oh, she's always talking to them, or who knows, or maybe he's like gained 5 pounds and feels insecure and is lashing out, or I don't know. I mean, who knows what could be behind
Well,
it?
here's an important question. Who's hotter?
Definitely my boyfriend.
There you go. They shouldn't have anything to worry about. Just say.
But sometimes, these kinds of speeches, they help you get your relationship to where you want. But what they also do, I find, I don't mean to gender this, but at least for me as a woman, it helps me start practicing being direct and sticking up for myself and advocating for myself and not just like pleasing and being passive and subjugating myself to the, what is the norms of, I don't know, a more female male. I don't know. It's like, I think it's really good for women.
I'm with you. This conversation that we're suggesting has a lot of pluses.
I'm saying it's also good for you. I guess it's going to get you what you want in your relationship. But it's almost like lifting weights for your like advocacy for yourself.
Well, it's almost like rustling cattle. Okay.
I connect a lot more to the lifting weights than the wrestling.
That's impossible for me to believe. But no, I think you're right, Natasha. This conversation has a lot of benefits. It makes your boyfriend feel he's going to get a thrill. I promise, out of you saying, just so you know, like, you're the only person that I have any like eyes for romantically, and you don't have anything to worry about ever. He's going to love that. And
the second part,
that's for you. So you kind of both get fed by just being real. I mean, 99% of the time, I feel like on this podcast, the answer is just like, say what you're feeling. And that's, I think, the answer here too.
But it sounds like you have a problem with that. So tell me what you think of that. And could you do it?
I think my main problem is just like you said, I need practice advocating for myself. But what I was going to say was I have been thinking about this leading up to it. And I'm like, I bet you anything Moshe's going to say, this is really easy. You just have to talk about it.
I came through. Well, I have a mechanical suggestion for you. You need practice and it makes you feel nervous. The first step is to say to your boyfriend, hey, what are you doing on Thursday? I have something I want to talk to you about. What are you doing this evening for dinner? You basically back yourself into a corner where by making a date where you have no choice but to have the conversation. So you know what I'm saying? Like you spring yourself. You say to your boyfriend, hey, let's get dinner tonight. There's something I want to talk to you about. He'll be like, what is it, babe? And you go, I want to talk about it tonight. But that way you can't get out of it because you've already made a commitment to him, to yourself, and to the Lord above the big sky that you're going to have this conversation.
Okay.
All right. Well, good luck.
This is good.
All right,
advice.
thank you.
This one's so easy because you don't even like the guy. It's like, it's not like you're like, well, I mean, you like him, but it's not like you're like torn or this.
Right.
Maybe he likes you. Maybe that's what the guy's sensing. But
I have no quarter.
I don't get that vibe, but I mean, I don't know.
I give no quarter to jealous guys. I think that's the wackest kind of person you can be. A guy's like, who is this? Who is that guy? Who is that guy? What are you skinning a cave bear to go make berries in your cave? Like, I fucking hate that. I mean, look, a conversation about male and female friends, I guess, is pretty normal. Natasha and I have always had a lot of male and female friends, and it's like literally a non-issue. But I just feel like jealousy should not be accepted because it's a form of control. I wouldn't say it's a form of abuse, but it's getting there. It's like trying to control what your partner does in a way that isn't healthy. It's not like, hey, can we talk about relationships with opposite gender friends? okay, that's not my style, but I could understand it. But just going like, oh, we have an established trope where it's okay for you to have that friend, but I'm going to punish you emotionally for having it. I don't like it. Even in Montana, I don't like it.
Okay, well, good luck.
All right. Thank you.
You're awesome.
Bye.
So people are starting to think that you always tell us to talk it out.
The truth is...
Oh, maybe we should get shirts that say talk it out.
But the truth is, with all these things, I was looking at Sean, friend of the pod, Sean at the Love Drive, a friend of the pod, and his whole thing is like relationship advice, much more sincere and much less comedic than us. But I can start to paint by numbers, and he does it on purpose. It's not like I don't think it's a failing, but the advice is kind of always the same. Somebody will write to Sean and go, I've got feelings for this guy, but I don't think he knows I do. What should I do? He goes, say, I've got feelings for you. Oh, my boyfriend is acting in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable, but what should I do? Say you're acting in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable.
No, I don't think a woman should tell a guy, I have feelings for you.
Of course she should.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? You would just let the person out of your life and then never have an affair? Never cheat on me with that person?
I would flirt with them and look at them in a way that I wanted to have sex with them. And then if they...
Look at them in a way that you want... Can I see that look? You're a trained actor.
I don't know exactly what it would be.
Hold on. Here I am. I'm just like a guy. That does feel like you want to have sex with me. I haven't seen that look, by the way, in over 5 years. It's been a long time.
But I'm just saying... You would have that, and then if they asked you out, I'm just saying I'm less direct.
But that feels
it's manipulative and old fashioned. I can't help it.
The one specific that I'm thinking of is there was a person who was roommates with a guy. This is on Sean's. I don't know why I'm taking his content, but you know what? I can, and he's not going to do shit about it. Okay, but you should follow him too at the Love Drive. But this person wrote and said, my roommate, who I've developed feelings for, but he has no idea, is moving out. Should I tell him? What would you do in that situation? He's leaving. He's leaving your life. And now you've got the opportunity, as he leaves, to say, by the way, before you go, I have feelings for you.
No.
You would never just let him out of your life.
No. I would be... There's such a thing as nuance. Excuse me, are you leaving now? I have feelings for you. You seem like...
That's funny. You think I seem like. I think you seem like.
Okay.
It's like you're going to let a possible love match.
Excuse me. I have to tell you something. No, you're like, so now that you're gone, are we going to, here's what you say. So now that you're moving out of the house, are we going to go see a movie?
That's the same thing.
Okay, well, that's what I would say.
It is so revelatory.
I have feelings for you.
It's so revelatory.
It makes you sound like Lenny in that one book.
It's so revelatory to me. That your impression of a person being honest about their feelings sounds like of Mice and Men. It's like, oh, I'm feeling sad. I have a boundary. It's like that. That explains a lot about you, actually.
Okay, fine. Let's see who always has a man.
You have a man and it's me. What the fuck? All right.
It is kind of funny that everyone's like, no, just tell. You have to be honest. Just tell men what you think. And then like no one has a boyfriend.
You think that the problem why there are so many single women out there is that they're not being gameplay-y and coy enough and that they're being too direct about their feelings? Do you know how refreshing it was when I was dating when a girl would say to me, I like you? I loved that.
All right, well, like I said, look who always has a man.
Oh, you?
No, I'm just saying like the girls who have boyfriends are often like flirty.
And never like I like you. Or sorry,
men like to pursue in hetero couples. That's all I can speak to.
But
men like to pursue women.
I'm sorry, but I did it wrong when I said I like you. I apologize. Can I do it again?
Yeah.
Where the women are like, I like you, like that, right?
All right, listen. Let's take another call.
Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
Did you say you like to slave over the stove?
Not at all.
Yeah, it's lucky you're a creative because you're one of the worst cooks I know. And that's why we use Tempo. Tempo is a weekly delivery service that delivers chef-crafted meals from a dietitian-approved menu fresh to your door.
With new recipes each week that are made with real ingredients and nutrient-rich, they make it easy to keep up a healthy lifestyle.
Listen, Tosh, earlier I said you're one of the worst chefs I know. That was a lie. You're a good cook, but we don't have time for all that. We've got a busy lifestyle, we've got a kid to take care of, and Tempo's perfectly portioned lunches and dinners take the guesswork out of eating well. They're fully prepared, and they can be heated in the microwave in just 3 minutes.
I am an excellent microwave chef. Tempo offers a variety of meals for different dietary and taste preferences, including protein-packed, calorie-conscious, carb-conscious, and, Moshe, you need this,
I love this.
fiber-rich.
For those solid dookies. Listen, Tempo makes your life easy. We're all too busy. So let's get a little less busy and a little more healthy with some delicious Tempo meals. For a limited time, Tempo's offering our listeners 60% off your first box.
Go to tempomeals.com/honeymoon. That's tempomeals.com/honeymoon for 60% off your first order. Just try it. See if you can now all of a sudden start eating a few more vegetables. It's actually good to try to be healthy. Don't you think, Moshe?
That was cool how you became a little more Italian. See if yous can try this. Go to tempomeals.com/honeymoon. 60% off your first box. What a deal.
Rules and restrictions may apply.
We're going to call a man with the coolest name I can think of in the coolest city I know of. Let's talk to Tiger in Los Angeles, California.
Let's do it.
Hello?
Hey, Tiger.
Tiger, let me say, I was tempted to say your last name because you have I won't do it. I'll give you the honor of not doing it. But it's the coolest name that could come after Tiger.
He doesn't need anonymity because his name's Tiger.
Right, that's true. People will probably know who we're talking about.
There's only one.
Also, if I were a world-class artist, which I am, and I were to paint a man just from my subconscious whose name is Tiger, I would paint you.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Yeah. I honor you and I honor your cool-ass name.
Oh man, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Tiger, are you a heterosexual male?
I am.
Can I ask you a question? Do you like when girls tell you that or ask you out, or do you kind of like to pursue girls a little bit?
Well, he's a tiger. He likes to hunt them.
Let me ask him.
No, I think I need the validation a little bit ahead of time, to be honest.
Thank you.
With a flirt, or do you want them to be like, just so you know, I really like you?
Yeah, I need big signs, big signals.
You know, here's the thing, Tiger. Natasha's stuck in a dating paradigm from 1961. She's got like a like one of those poodles on her skirt, you know, and ruffles. And she's like, no, man, I'll never say what I like about a man. I wait for him to come to me and buy me a malted.
Well, I am reading Tolstoy right now, so maybe that's like...
That's 1861.
Yeah, well, it was still like that. Okay, Tiger, how can we help you with your problems?
Well, right now, basically, let me get into a position here. My girlfriend and I got into this big fight, and it was about my work-life balance and my ability to give a lot of attention to her. And I was struggling with it, and I consider this like a very like serious relationship. Like we've only been dating a year and a half, but like we talk about moving into each other. It's big. We're both in our 30s. Like it's not a fling. It's like it's a very serious thing. And we got into this big fight when I work in the film industry, and I just started working on a movie, and it's taken up my entire time. It's been like really difficult. And we got into this fight about that, and we stopped talking, and I basically told her, listen, like I'm having such a hard time. I'm like literally having a mental breakdown. Let's talk after I finish this week. And I finished this week, and I was still struggling, and I didn't follow up with her. I did briefly. I told her, I set aside some time for her, and then this terrible thing happened, and I ended up not talking to her. And now it's been like 2 months since we've talked. And it's like I feel like we're broken up, but I don't know.
Okay.
We haven't spoken to each other.
Here's the thing. 1.5 years is not that long. She doesn't really know the lifestyle yet. And like when you have one of these intense artistic lifestyles, the question that you need to ask, almost one of the number one questions you need to ask a potential partner is, can you hang? Can you deal with this? Like Moshe and I, like that's one of the reasons why I married him. He understood my schedule. He knew I'd be gone a lot. He knew I would like sometimes have to take off on the weekend. He knew that I'd have to cancel plans with him because I have an opportunity to do a show.
90% of why Natasha and I are together is that I understood her scheduling issues.
No, but I'm just saying it's like
You're making that makes sense.
It's really important. And I think I've said this on this podcast before, but I remember there was this like really cool, pretty girl who started comedy with me. I won't say her name. This like blonde, like she looked like a model, but she was like Russian and really funny. And she got like top 10 comics to watch.
You won't say her name, but you'll give every single clue that could lead a person to figure out who it was.
I honestly can't remember her name. But anyway, I just remember I saw her at an audition and she was like, you just get to go on the road? My new husband, he doesn't want me leaving the house after 9 p.m. Like there were like all these rules. And I'm just like, wait, you married someone like that? Like, and then I just never heard from her again after she like won this like award. It's like if you want to have a career so I guess my point is she has to really understand what's up with the hours of your work.
That's real. And the field you're in, film is fucking, to those that don't know, film on any level, from the PA all the way to the star, is the most punishing and grueling schedule that exists in maybe any industry that I know of. It is, to her credit, and Natasha's right, because you're you and you can't be not you, and so she's got to love you, not some theoretical you that doesn't exist. But to her credit, it's pretty fucking grueling on a partner to have somebody that works those hours. But that wasn't your question. You're right. Your question was, but I think that was very wise, Natasha.
Well, I think you guys should have a conversation and you should let her know about this and then say, despite the fact that this is the reality, I'm in love with you and I want to have a life with you and I want to find out how to serve this relationship, but I just need to know that you understand.
That I'm a tiger doesn't change his stripes, as they say. Now, but here...
That, by the way, that's what my dad told me.
What?
When he told me because he was like married to someone, but then he told me that he had a girlfriend.
And he said a tiger doesn't change his stripes?
Yes. I think he said a leopard doesn't change its spots.
I think that might be the actual saying.
But it was like, I just remember I was so uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't want to know that you're keeping a girlfriend somewhere.
Here's the real reality, though, to your question, Tiger. Is this your first kind of big boy relationship?
I mean, no. I've had a small handful, but no.
Natasha was my first big boy relationship, just so you know. Whether you're broken up or not, a man, I hate to be this reductive, but a man must step up to the plate, and you cannot have it break up this way. It is not with integrity. It is not an honorable way to end your relationship. To go, well, I think we're done. You must call that person and listen back to this podcast, because what you said. So you're not going to, I wouldn't talk to her until it comes out this Tuesday. No, but what you said at the beginning of this podcast was like, if I heard that, if I was the tiger's prey and I heard what you said, I would be so touched. Like, you were very emotionally honest and open. She's big to you. You want to live with her. It's not a small relationship. You consider it a big deal. And you've somehow, your schedule and her anger about that schedule has allowed this thing to become emotionally so volatile that neither of you can hold it, right? But if you told her what you told us, if you wanted, I don't know if you'll get her back, but if you wanted her back, you might be able to get her back. But if you want it to end with integrity, I think you have to have the conversation. You can't break up. I can look at you and tell that you are a man with integrity. You can't break up just by being like, okay, I guess we broke up after a year and a half. I
think what is a really difficult thing, because I literally found out I was going to be on this show 20 minutes ago. So I haven't really been able to articulate in a way that I wanted to, but she's actually been really understanding of that schedule and really supportive. And I feel like the issue is that I haven't been able to manage the relationship correctly with my own schedule. And I don't know how to do that. And from failing at it so many times, I don't know how to come back to somebody and be like, this is how I can improve, because I don't know how to improve with this life that I have.
You are a remarkably honest and self-understanding person. I can hear in what you're saying. I'm trying to make some jokes at your expense, but this is not the right time. I can hear it in what you're saying that you are beating yourself up over this, and maybe that's something that you do. But what I'm hearing from you is like a person with a lot of self-awareness and a lot of emotional maturity. But that doesn't always equal, for me, I can say, Natasha, I will admit, I have a lot of self-awareness and emotional maturity, and it doesn't always equal me doing the right thing in the relationship that I'm in. You know, I understand what I'm doing. I understand why it's pissing Natasha off, and yet I'll find myself doing it again, you know? And so I think, like, telling her, I hate to be the guy that always says this, but it's true. Tell her what you told us. Like, all of the things you've told us, they seem so real and so like, I don't know how to apologize to you because I feel like I failed you again and again. And
can we work together with my schedule and like help me figure out a way to plan for us to talk? And
totally.
Do you feel like you're not are you sort of emotionally not feeling the space for a relationship even though you like them?
Yeah, I think I created distance that I don't know how to. I think even maybe like I blame the job a little bit for my distance, but I still like am like super in this thing, and I don't know how to appear closer. Maybe I'm just bad at that.
I think it's gonna like in a couple months, it's gonna be a bad time to be alone.
And for the last 18 months, it's been a bad time to be in the film industry. So,
I mean,
I'm
partnership.
very grateful I got a job.
I think partnership is definitely something to prioritize. And I think that we forget that and we think, oh my God, my career. But, you know, you got to give that little bit of the aperture, try to open it up a little bit for relationship, especially if you met someone that you like. Because that's most people's big problem is they don't have anyone they even like.
it's that book, you know, I often reference, The Road Less Traveled. It's a very you maybe check it out, Tiger. It's a very old-fashioned relationship book, but it helped me a lot. And one of the things that he said in there is that love, real love, always requires courage and work. It is not easy, and it is always scary, and that is just the way that love operates. And so you might be right in your instinct that you have gone too far with this particular woman. In fact, that was my revelation from The Road Less Traveled. I read that stuff and I realized that for me, I don't know about you, for me, the reason Natasha is my first big boy relationship is that every time I got to a point in a relationship that required courage and work from me, I abandoned it and ran away.
Right.
I didn't even know that.
I'm cowardly and lazy. That seems like quite an ask.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But we can all change, right? And so I realized that, okay, every time I've gotten scared in a relationship, rather than say, oh, I'm in a relationship, it's supposed to be scary and difficult, I would say, oh, the relationship is over, it's scary and difficult. And I would abandon. And so I read that book, I had this major revelation, and I called this girl, and this is going to drive you wild with jealousy, Natasha, but I called this girl and who I had this on again, off again kind of emotional carrot stick relationship with, who had been very open to me. And I had always been like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. And I said to her, I'm ready to really give it a shot with you. And she said to me, I'm good, right? She was done. I had taken her through the ringer too many times, but it was the first time I had ever acted with any courage in a relationship, even though it didn't work, which I regret to this day, every single day. Just kidding. It allowed me the emotional sort of openness for when I met Natasha. In the early days of dating Natasha, I would have these experiences where I would panic and I would go, oh no, this is getting too serious. I'm getting scared. And I could at that point say, for the first time in my dating life, oh, this is that. This is that thing. As my old AA sponsor used to say, that's a movie playing in your head. You can feel free to ignore it. You can feel free to not watch it. And I would go, oh, I'm doing the thing that I do. I would want to run, and I would say, I'm not going to run. I'm going to walk through this thing. And now I'm married. So anyway, I say all that to say, you have to talk to her. Tell her the things you've told us. You may have lost her. It may be too late with this person, but it may not be. And in order for it to work, you're going to have to do things that stretch you outside of your comfort zone. You're going to have some courage. And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what it looks like for you. Maybe it's letting her make the parameters. What would it look like for you if I prioritize you around the boundaries of my job? What do you need from me? And then see if you can offer that to her.
Thank you guys so much.
But by the way, the thing with the girl that I wrote the email to that rejected me, I took that. To this day, I take that as a win. So all this stuff with you beating yourself up and you're too scared and you're lazy and a coward. It's like all this stuff is like a pavestone on the way to eventual success. All the failures.
And you're not lazy. You work 16-hour days.
That's right.
It's true. I do that.
So now you just got to put that work ethic into something that's even more terrifying than trying to get a movie off the ground.
All right, well, reach out. I think it's a nice time to reach out.
Okay. I'll do that.
It's not about who reaches out anymore. Just be the man.
Be the man. Be the man actually in this situation I think works. Be the man.
God, it's so hard. I'm not good at doing that. I got all these like tattoos and motorcycles and bullshit so I could just look like I do that. I'm not good at actually doing that.
Well,
You got a neck tattoo so that you wouldn't have to actually be a man?
Yeah.
But I mean
that's really telling.
But it's actually really real. Like when somebody says be a man, yeah, okay, it's always a little reductive. But the parts of being a man that where the rubber actually meets the road, those are really difficult things to do, Show up with courage, show up with integrity, find a way to be kind, find a way to have strength. Those are the parts of masculinity that I admire and that I aspire to, and they're difficult to do. They're definitely more difficult than getting a tattoo because a tattoo is always instant. A motorcycle always looks cool, but it's not cool to go to your girl and say, I fucked this up, I'm selfish and I don't know how to not be selfish. Please help me. Help me to be a better man. That's difficult. That's difficult to do.
But don't tell the girl that you got a neck tattoo so that you didn't have to act like a man.
Yeah, that's true. Just keep that to yourself.
Yeah, no. I'm secretive.
Good. There you go. That's a man. Men keep secrets.
All right, Tiger. Well, thanks so much.
You're awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Later.
Bye.
Tiger's a guy I feel like I'd be friends with.
You know what's interesting?
Actually. That
kind of reminded me of the Jonathan Haidt thing. We went and saw him recently,
yeah.
And he said that whatever it is, I mean, this guy's maybe a little too old, but he said whatever it is, the thing. Well, first of all, he did something really crazy, and he asked the whole crowd, who can anyone name anyone under 30 who's really 30 and under who's really successful in the way that Bill Gates was successful at 30, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, all these people.
There's a crowd of 2,000 people.
All these people who've accomplished things. Can you name anyone?
Name someone who's made a huge impact on culture. Leave out athletes and entertainers.
Yes. And so first everyone screams Greta. Thunberg. So he already had her prepped. He goes,
immediately clicks a PowerPoint and Greta pops up. He's
like, that's what everyone says first.
And then they screamed Malala.
Click,
there she is.
And then he's like, okay, who else under 30 has made a big impact in their careers? And any men and any Americans.
And it was no men, no Americans. And that is... a lot of people roll their eyes at this idea of the crisis of masculinity and the crisis of boys, but it is really real.
And he said, whatever happened or has happened in the past that makes boys turn to men is not happening anymore. And I don't know if he was purporting that it has to do with two things. One, that people are overprotecting their children and helicopter parenting them. And two, that they're getting smartphones and video games in early puberty.
They're getting sucked into a digital world, and so they don't have
in early puberty.
And we know from being in the 90s what makes a boy to a man.
Those big pants?
It's Motown Philly. And how do I say goodbye to yesterday? How? But it's true. And being a man is a thing that maybe you think is a false thing. But even if it's a social construct, it's a social construct we all live by. And I think a lot about the idea of manhood and masculinity and the parts of it that are aspirational and the parts of it that are good. And there are a lot of very good things about being a man. There's a few bad things. men I have noticed have done a few weird things, but there's a lot of really good things. And Tiger, I don't know why I wanted to hang out with him. He feels like a guy that wants to do the right thing. And I admire how open and emotionally courageous he was. Took courage for you, Tiger, to come on this podcast. So I don't believe that you're emotionally cowardly.
And also, that's manly to let someone do a neck tattoo. That would hurt.
Depends on what the neck tattoo is. If it's like a vulva, it's less manly.
I mean, isn't it manly to like sit there and like let someone like put a needle into your neck?
I'll tell you what is really manly. Is covering a neck in sky blue with a cloud stencil and just making a cloudscape.
We're gonna take pictures of them for you.
Yeah,
this
we'll
weekend.
post them on the Instagram and see what people have to say. Natasha, I feel like we've done a wonderful episode today,
Me too.
and I feel closer to you as a result. I want to be your tiger, or I want to be good tiger good. I want to go from a boy to a man.
That would be nice. You are a man.
Yeah.
You're a man. You got that deep.
Hi, da.
Wait, you know Boys to Men so well that I only know their one hit.
Dude, Boys to Men couldn't be more directly in the Venn diagram of like exactly what I grew up listening to.
Oh, really?
Oh, I mean, like every school dance, it was all Boys to Men. They were the biggest band.
Well, you're 5 years younger than me.
That's right.
I was kind of making fun of them.
You were making fun of Boys to Men?
I mean, it was more like what my brother liked.
Well.
Like, 'cause he is your age.
Well, and now what is he? Now what age is he?
He's still your age.
Yeah. So he went from
boy
to
man.
And so have I. Natasha, as a man, I can say this comfortably. I love you.
I love you too.